Hello everyone. We are exploring different ways of securing APIs. API key based authentication. Today we are going.
Python Fast API.
Yeah. API key based authentication. Conceptual knowledge we will gain more today.
API key concepts explained. Hey everyone, welcome back to this series on API authentication with Python.
So far we have covered basic authentication from how it works to implementing both client side code and server side code with fast API. And we have gone through basic authentication. We will do a hands-on session in the upcoming videos. Yeah. Before we move on to the next authentication, I want to pause and break down some important concepts related to API key authentication.
These are not just buzzwords. Understanding them will help you speak confidently about it and also design better APIs in real life. It is a focused, short but powerful video in your series. Let's dive right in. Concepts to know. Let's go through 7 essential terms should know.
We will explain how they connect to API key authentication and give you a real world context so you can use them naturally in designing better APIs in real life.
Keywords and concepts to learn. Our focus should be on these 7 points.
Stateless authentication,
API key rotation,
rate limiting,
header based authentication,
environment variables,
principle of least privilege.
service to service authentication. These are the 7 different concepts we are going to.
Perform.
Yeah.
Stateless authentication.
In API key authentication, the server does not store any session state. Every request must contain API key. The server checks it and either allows or denies the access.
This is called stateless authentication. Example, implementation note.
API keys are stateless, which means the server does not have to store sessions or tokens. Each request is self contained with all the information needed to authenticate.
API key rotation.
API key should not be permanent for security. You need a way to rotate the keys periodically without downtime.
This means having multiple valid keys for the same service, adding expiration dates, revoking compromised keys. Example, implementation note.
To support a grateful API key rotation, we may consider using a key store that allows multiple active keys per client, enabling seamless transition during rollouts.
Rate limiting.
With API keys, you can control how much traffic each client can send.
This helps prevent abuse, protect your backend, monetize usage tiers. Example, free versus pro. Your track requests per key and enforce limits. Example, implementation note.
We can apply rate limiting on each API key based on the client's subscription plan, probably using Redis to monitor usage and return 429 too many request responses when thresholds are hit.
Header based authentication.
APIs are commonly sent in custom HTTP headers like XAPI key.
This keeps them out of URLs which can be logged in browser history. Easier to manage at gateways like NGINX or API gateways. Example, implementation node.
Custom headers can be used to enforce API key authentication, which could integrate well with a reverse proxy for a traffic inspection and enhanced security.
Environment variables.
API keys, especially at server side secret keys, should never be hard coded.
Always store them in environment variables or secret managers like AWS Secrets Managers, Vault, env files in Dev. Example implementation note.
All API keys and secrets can be managed via environment variables loaded at runtime. Avoiding hard coded secrets or accidental exposure through version control system.
Principle of least privilege.
Each API key should give just enough access, nothing more.
You can scope them to read only, access specific routes, limit access to certain services. Example implementation note.
We may apply the principle of least privilege to API keys, granting clients only the access they require, thereby reducing the risk of unauthorized access to sensitive internal endpoints.
Service to service authentication.
API keys are great for authenticating between backend services.
For example, microservice A calls service B using a known API key. Internal tools hit APIs securely using pre-shared keys. Example implementation note.
For a service to service authentication, we can adopt API keys with separate credentials for each service. Ensure they are rotated regularly and store them securely in a vault.
Final note. In the upcoming videos, we will cover more how other auth styles works, when to use one of them, and many key points about each. You will know. Let's learn API authentication simple way.
Thank you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
Thank you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more Python related content and let me know in the comments if you want any real-time examples with specific challenge to be solved. Please mention details in comments. Thank you.